Nightshade has had some tests in her pro wrestling career, whether that be in the UK, whether that be across Europe, and whether that be in Japan. But I don't think there's going to be a bigger test than the one here tonight against the former AEW Women's Champion, NYLA Rose. Yet another Pro Wrestling Eve debut here tonight. In the Big Penny tonight, it is a fucking hot one, I can tell you that, in here tonight, and this has been a crazy show, but the energy in the room keeps going up and up with each match here tonight as we bring you our final bout of tonight. It's NYLA Rose versus Nightshade, yet another first-time matchup, a match that you would never see anywhere else but here in Pro Wrestling Eve. Lauren versus Aubrey, book it, Dan. Absolutely, Dee Dee. We started with a hoss fight and we're going to end in a hoss fight. And it's going to deliver.
Her opponent this evening.
Look at this matchup and you might see Nightshade as an underdog here. And you might be right in some respects. However, this Nightshade is a new Nightshade. Winning the Eve Championship has brought a newfound confidence to Nightshade, and like I've said a few times tonight, sometimes matches are lost before you even step through the curtain. And sometimes matches are won in your mind before you step through the ropes. And this newfound confidence that Nightshade has, wow, she's going to need it here tonight against NYLA Rose. And I, for one, am extremely excited for this matchup here. I'm kind of sad the show's ended. I don't know about you guys. I'm kind of sad this is the last match. What a show it's been here tonight. And if you're joining us for the first time here, this is just a little taste of what Pro Wrestling Eve is all about. So I really hope that if it's your first time watching us here tonight, that you join us next time and the time after that. As our next show is on the 5th of September, the following the 3rd of October, and then the 1st of November. And there it is, the Pro Wrestling Eve title.
This is your main event match, and it is for the Eve Championship! It has a 30-minute time limit, and it is scheduled for one fall! On my left, the challenger. From Washington, D.C., former All-Elite Women's World Champion, the native beast, NYLA Rose! And on my right, from Buckinghamshire, England, she is the deadly one, the child of Eve, your Rayne
can feel that energy through your screens here tonight, but it is electric. And I know it's a cliche, but sometimes cliches are cliches because they're true. It is electric here tonight in the Big Penny. And main event, I don't think even does this matchup justice. What we're about to see here tonight for the Pro Wrestling Eve title, it is Nightshade versus Nyla Rose. And the bell has rung for our 30-minute time limit main event here tonight. And again here tonight, the crowd are split. Nightshade, of course, the child of Eve, but Nyla Rose, a pioneer, a fan favorite here. As we start off with a friendly handshake, but you have to wonder, when the bell rings once again and the match is over, will we be seeing handshakes? As the tension in the room builds. And are we going to see, and we do. We see a lock-up here. And both women used to being the powerhouse in any matchup that they have. And it's almost like size and strength-wise, both women are looking in the mirror here. Very evenly matched in terms of size, which is something that both women are not going to be used to. They're going to be used to being the power and the strength in each one of their matchups. So you have to wonder, as they jostle for position here, who's going to come out on top as Nightshade goes in for the friendly handshake and pulls into the lockup. And she wins. She wins the battle there as she backs Nyla into the ropes, but breaks a clean break there. And Nyla, not silly, not going for that handshake once again and getting pulled back in, but going for a fist bump as both women reset here in the center of the ring. And listen, you know, this is for the Pro Wrestling Eve title. There's a lot to prove here, but it is wonderful to see both women show sportsmanship and have fun out there as Nyla pulls Nightshade into the headlock here. And again, you know, Nightshade, usually that would work, lifting her opponent off her feet, but not with Nyla. Far too powerful for that as she throws Nightshade into the corner. Couple of kicks, couple of punches there as Aubrey breaks it before the 5, and a clean break there. And again, Nyla not quite used to being able to easily send off her opponent, but Nightshade blocks it, reversing it and sending Nyla into the corner, and a couple of kicks of her own. And the boot up from Nyla, and you have to, again, you know, sometimes giving your opponent space is the worst thing you can do. You're giving them that chance to think, to mount up some kind of offense or retaliation for whatever it is that you're going for, as a huge tackle is attempted, but not successful as Nightshade goes for one of her own, and again, not successful here on Nyla Rose. As both women with the momentum meeting in the middle, and neither woman budging here. And you have to wonder now, the friendliness and the smiles and the handshakes is breaking down into a bit of friendly competition now in the center of the ring. As we move on from tackles and we start to go strike for strike here. And again, really evenly matched here, both women. tries to go for a huge clothesline there, but although she does knock Nightshade slightly off balance, she's still on her feet. Oh, as Nightshade winds up and goes one for one of her own. But again, neither woman able to knock the other off their feet as NYLA goes for yet another clothesline. Oh, and a huge wind up there from Nightshade, but it's not enough. NYLA's still on her feet. Oh. Nightshade blocks, tries to go for that choke slam, but unable to lift NYLA off her feet as finally NYLA with a clubbing blow to the back of the neck knocks Nightshade off her feet. And again now, normally NYLA would be able to easily pick her opponent up off the mat and slam them down, but with Nightshade it's not going to be that simple as she goes for a choke slam of her own, unable to lift her, and Nightshade gets the tackle. Nightshade gets the tackle. She goes for a huge senton. She misses, but NYLA manages to roll her up. And again, another huge forearm as NYLA now off the ropes. But Nightshade managing to move out of the way. And again, off the ropes, huge splash into the cover. And it's our first cover of the matchup, and we are nearly 7 minutes into this match, and we've got our first cover here tonight. The moment both women trying to prove their superior strength here. And even though NYLA did manage to get Nightshade off her feet there, Nightshade was off balance. So a moral victory, but as Nightshade here trying to lift Nyla Rose onto her shoulders, but NYLA able to fight her off. Oh, and she's up on the shoulders of Nightshade, but Nightshade, but Nightshade unable to capitalize as NYLA punishes Nightshade here with clubbing blows and off the ropes, and she's up and she's down! Huge Samoan drop to Nyla Rose, delivered by Nightshade, and she needs to capitalize. Running senton, and she hits it, and into the cover, and it's just a 2. But again, the cover not quite tight enough, not enough pressure on the shoulders there. Yes, the leg was hooked, but it wasn't really being used to put pressure onto the shoulders of Nyla Rose. This is a former AEW's Women's World Champion. You're not going to put her away with a lackadaisical cover. As Nightshade sends Nyla into the corner, and that was a hard whip there from Nightshade. As you can see from the pain etched on the face of Nyla Rose, forced to take a knee from the force of that, as Nyla is sent in once again. And you notice how Nightshade whips Nyla into that turnbuckle, using all of her weight and momentum, dropping down herself to push as much momentum through her body into that whip, which then resulted in Nyla Rose flying out of that corner, face first into the mat. Oh, this time, Nyla manages to absorb the shock of the whip into the corner and come out with a huge clothesline, finally taking Nightshade clean off her feet. But the punishment that she's already sustained from Nightshade, she's unable to capitalize as both women back to their feet. And again here, Nyla trying for a Saito suplex here, but Nightshade is able to battle out as she delivers a huge headbutt to Rose. And she goes for it again, but using her own momentum against her, Nyla manages to hit the Saito suplex, and Nightshade lands on the back of her neck, and Nyla into the cover too, and it's just a 2 count. It's just a 2 count. As what is Nyla going for here? As she tries to lift Nightshade up, and you have to assume she's trying to go for a power bomb here. But is she going to be able to lift Nightshade up as Nightshade pops out, clubbing blows to the back of the head? As she hooks her up for a suplex, but again, a suplex normally to Nightshade, easy on any opponent, but not on Nyla Rose, as Rose manages to reverse that face first and a huge knee to the head and into the cover here. 2, and it's just a 2. And this is going to be the real test here for both of these women. This is the mind game of both women being able to easily pull off the offense they're used to pulling off against all of their other opponents. It's very rare that both women will have a matchup with someone that meets their size and their strength. As Rose is sent flying with a back body drop, and Nightshade with a huge clothesline. But it's desperation. It's desperation hitting that clothesline. As both women are down. And we are 10 minutes gone of our 30-minute time limit here tonight. As we are at a 4 count here. As both women still on the mat, but Nightshade is to a knee. But can she capitalize? As Nyla meets her, both women in the center of the ring here. And again, it's the battle of the blows. And a huge forearm smash there from Nightshade, but Rose delivers with one of her own. Oh! And it looks like Rose is winning this battle here. As every time Nightshade winds up, she's met in the face and the jaw by a huge clubbing forearm from Nyla Rose, and again, and Nightshade is out on her feet. Nightshade is in trouble here, serious trouble. And great sportswomanship here from Nyla as she allows Nightshade to get to her feet. Now, she didn't have to do that. Yes, the ref was counting, but technically she could have laid some boots in if she wanted to. She allows Nightshade, she has the grace to allow Nightshade to her feet, but now Nightshade is in trouble once again as huge chops in the corner. And as she goes to a boot for the throat, Nightshade catches it. As she pushes Rose off. Oh, and another one of those huge forearms. But now Nightshade is shrugging it off. And Nyla Rose, quick succession of forearms. But Nightshade with one huge, precise blow to the jaw of Nyla Rose, knocking Nyla Rose off her feet. Again, she's unable to capitalize. And Nyla Rose with a Saito suplex, but Nightshade follows up with a spear and into the cover, and it's 1. It's just a 1. And a huge knee to the jaw as Nyla into a cover of her own, and it's just a 1 again. And this is how important the Pro Wrestling Eve title is to both of these women, as both women kicking out at 1. And they meet in the middle, huge clothesline, and Nightshade to her knees. And we are almost at our halfway point here on our 30-minute time limit matchup here, as Nyla Rose off the ropes, duck underneath from Nightshade, and again, but this time with momentum. This time with the momentum from the ropes, Nightshade hits the spear. is close to the ropes. And Nightshade smartly knows to pull Nyla up to her feet. There's no way she's going to get a cover in that position, but she hits the choke bomb, but Nyla Rose is so close to the ropes, and of course, you're not going to put somebody away the caliber of Nyla Rose, a former AEW Women's World Champion, with the ropes so close to her on that choke bomb. And you have to think the desperation of Nightshade. If she had hit that choke bomb in the center of the ring, we would be hearing "and still" right now. But the match continues, and we are past our halfway point. There's both women on the apron here. Huge headbutt from Nightshade. And what does she have in mind here? And oh my God, surely not. Oh my God, and she picks her up at Nyla, up and over into the ring. Huge clubbing blow across the chest of Nightshade there, followed up by a huge knee to the jaw. And we've seen this before from Nyla Rose. And are we going to see it here for the first time in a pro wrestling Eve ring? And we do. Huge knee to the back of the head of Nightshade, and Nightshade's in trouble. She's in the center of the ring. As up onto the shoulders of Nyla. Huge Death Valley driver into the cover. So close. So close. And again, the desperation of that move. Nyla had a fantastic bridge, applying the pressure onto Nightshade, but the pressure was on the midsection. The pressure was not over the shoulders. And you have to imagine if Nyla was able to bridge and put, and oh, she goes for the cannonball, but she misses. And this could be a huge opening here for Nightshade to capitalize on, as Nyla is back to her feet. Huge spear from Nightshade. As we are down to 13 minutes. And what is she going for here? As she's signaling to that top rope. But Nyla is up. And oh my God. She's in position. Oh my God, huge power bomb into the cover. 2. Wow, that was close. That was close, and that was in the middle of the ring, but Nyla not phased. Straight out and straight up, and see the agility at this point in the match for Nyla to get up to the top like that. Oh my God, a picture perfect sent off on into the cover, and oh my God, Nyla Rose! Nyla Rose! Picture perfect sent
Your winner and new Eve champion, Nyla Rose!
And I've said it before, and I'll say it again here tonight, only in Pro Wrestling Eve. Only in Pro Wrestling Eve. And not only do we have an international champion in Kris Statlander, we now have an international Pro Wrestling Eve world champion in the incomparable Nyla Rose. But wow, Nightshade put up a hell of a fight here tonight, and she's going to be disappointed. But she should be proud of that matchup here tonight. And who knows, maybe a rematch is somewhere down the road for Nightshade. But for right now, your new Pro Wrestling Eve champion is Nyla Rose. Thank you so much for joining us here tonight, Pro Wrestling Eve faithful. Please remember, we are back at the Big Penny on the 5th of September, Friday, the 5th of September. And if this is your first time joining us here for Pro Wrestling Wrestling Eve. If you came for the AEW stars, I hope you stay for the Pro Wrestling Eve stars that you've seen here tonight. We are Pro Wrestling Eve, and we will see you next time. Just signed off. I was celebrating here with everybody else, but that celebration has been soured here by RHIO. What is RHIO doing? I know she's got a point to prove. I know she's been pissed off in Pro Wrestling Eve, but this is uncalled for. Even Safire Reed and Millie McKenzie think this is uncalled for. And she may be #1 contender, but there's just no need for that. Let's get RHIO out of here, please. And this is not going to ruin the celebrations here tonight, guys. It's a shame that RHIO felt the need to do something like that. And the thing is, RHIO doesn't need to behave that way. She doesn't need cheap tricks like this. So I'm gonna very swiftly move from the desk.
Hey guys, we got a curfew. I absolutely appreciate the love. But, hey, dum-dum, I came a long way to fight. You don't gotta jump me. If you wanna fight, just ask. Can I cuss? Of course, y'all are British. I'm not gonna do it though. You messed up, because I got the promoter's phone number. Bitch, you can run, but your ass can't hide.
faithful, we have come to your main event of Mean Girls. Let's get the chat popping, let's get your predictions in. And here is your challenger, former TBS champion, Kris Statlander.
And if this is your challenger, then your champion is in serious trouble.
Making her Eve debut.
No need for an introduction. The crowd are doing it for us here tonight.
And her opponent.
As you said, Jetta, if that's the pedigree of the challenger, then the champion has got a tough contest indeed, but the champion has shown to be on a different level, on a different mindset. This is your Eve International Champion, Anita Vaughan.
If you had told me a year ago who would win this contest between Kris Statlander and Anita Vaughan, it would be an easy win in the column for Kris Statlander. However, this is not the Anita Vaughan of 12 months ago. This is a new Anita Vaughan. This woman is on a mission. And I don't know. I actually think that Anita Vaughan may surprise us here tonight.
That international title, well, I would say that international title, that belt is a creation of Anita's own. The original Eve International belt is in a bin somewhere, courtesy of Anita Vaughan. But that championship, that record's been held by Piper Niven, Jamie Hayter. And Anita Vaughan has added herself onto that legacy. This is her second defense after defeating Lucia Lee. She said she's defeated English girl after English girl. But can she beat a woman who is argued to be out of this world?
And make no mistake about it, this is the biggest test of Anita Vaughan's career. And you see how she struts to the ring here tonight. Not a care in the world. Sometimes all it takes is attitude. Attitude and belief in yourself can outwit all of the hours in the gym, the training in the ring. Is that what Anita Vaughan's going to show us here tonight?
Let's go to the ring for the official announcements.
This is your main event! And it's for the Eve International Championship! It is scheduled for one fall and has a 30-minute time limit. Introducing the challenger to my right. She is a 9-year pro, standing at 5'9", hailing from Long Island, New York, USA. She is the former AEW TBS champion. This is Kris Statlander! And her opponent, the champion, to my left, a 4-year pro, standing at 5'9",
She's the reigning, defending EVE International Champion. She is all violence. She is Anita Vaughan.
And before we get started here tonight, for those of you who may be joining us for the first time to witness Kris Statlander in Pro Wrestling Eve, you can go back and watch all of our back catalogue for the great price. It's a bargain, $8.99 a month. On there, you can see the stars of today, the stars of tomorrow, and the stars of yesterday who have gone on to do amazing things in WWE, TNA, AEW, the likes of Tony Storm, Jamie Hayter, Miko Satomura, Alba Fire, Piper Niven, Manami Toyota, Jordan Grace, the list goes on. They have all stepped through those ropes. They've either cut their teeth in Pro Wrestling Eve or they have passed the torch in Pro Wrestling Eve. So please, if you're joining us for the first time, don't let it be the last, as these two women lock up and our international title match is underway.
Anita Vaughan attempting to give a headlock out from Kris Statlander, puts on one of her own.
And the feeling out process here in the start of this match, of course, both of these women won't have even met eyes, let alone stepped in the ring together across either of their careers. A lot of tape on Kris Statlander, of course, 9-year pro, former AEW TBS champion. Not as much tape on Anita Vaughan for Kris to study.
Of course, Kris Statlander defeated Jade Cargill to get that TBS championship, and as you've mentioned, very mainstream tape on Kris Statlander.
And of course, not defeated for that TBS championship either.
Absolutely.
As
handstand here.
handstand out.
Gets out of that leg scissors.
Now, usually Anita Vaughan is not used to having her power met in the ring. She's definitely going to have her power met here tonight with Kris Statlander.
I think it's interesting, if you look at both wrestlers, both would be considered powerhouses.
Absolutely.
But Kris Statlander, not to say that Anita Vaughan isn't a favourite because she is the champion, but Statlander, as she goes for this cover, certainly could be argued is the slightly more powerful one, just purely because of experience alone. But Anita Vaughan catching the leg, got that ankle, pushed away by Statlander. And I think you mentioned it quite rightly, Jetta. It's a feeling out process to begin with.
Absolutely, a feeling out process here in the start of the match. Anita Vaughan knows what she's up against here. She almost doesn't really have anything to lose. I mean, of course, she is the champion. She wants to retain it. But Kris Statlander, widely regarded as one of the best professional wrestlers currently wrestling today. A loss to Kris Statlander, although painful, wouldn't be unexpected. But for Kris Statlander, it's almost like people would expect her to win here tonight with her past experience as she goes to that headlock takeover there, in control of Anita Vaughan. So as much as there's the power advantage, there's the strength advantage, there's the experience advantage, there's also, again, and we've spoke about it previously in matches here tonight, it's the mind games. And sometimes that's how you lose matches. Sometimes that's how you win them.
Equal footing there.
Oh.
Both attempted to go for the shoulder block, but...
And a shove there. A nonchalant shove by Anita Vaughan to Kris Statlander. Telling Kris, I'm not intimidated by you. You're in my ring.
And that reflects the new personality of All Violence, Anita Vaughan. This is the woman who beat Skye Smitson for the international title. But a shoulder block from the Stat Daddy herself, taking down Anita Vaughan. And as mentioned, Kris Statlander, international talent, challenging for the international title.
Oh.
Dropped a big kick from Statlander, and our champion
And
goes reeling.
Smartly, Anita Vaughan rolling out of the ring.
And taking a breath, taking a moment. I think Anita Vaughan will be very well aware of the champion's advantage.
And not just taking a breath, but also checking those teeth still are still exactly where they were a couple of seconds ago before that big boot to the jaw there of Anita Vaughan from Kris Statlander. And now Kris, has she had enough going out after her as Anita picks the leg?
Picking that leg.
And what's she going for here?
Kris Statlander has had a wealth of leg injuries in her past, and Vaughan just kicking the head of Statlander and soaking in VE faithful.
And again, Anita Vaughan here just taking her time.
Because Anita Vaughan, she has shown she's calculating, she's shown she's callous over the last few months. This is not the same Anita Vaughan that entered Eve. This is very much a different human being.
This is a completely different person to the one that stepped foot in Pro Wrestling Eve. But, you know, the one that stepped foot in Pro Wrestling Eve, although she was probably a nicer person, she also had more losses on her record.
Could be argued that nicer person would be facing Kris Statlander right now as both jostling for suplex.
Battling to suplex on the outside of the ring here onto the concrete floor, and a huge chop there by Statlander to Vaughan.
And that's an important point. You've mentioned that really well, Jetta. There's no, you just look at that, there's no padding. There's no padding, this is pure concrete, so any move on the outside of here will do severe damage as well.
Yeah, I mean, something like a suplex on the outside of the ring here wouldn't just end the match, it could end a career. Oh, that chop! Thundering through the chest of Anita Vaughan there, rattling off the walls of the Big Penny.
And our front row has had to go up and down from their chairs all night.
It looks like they have to move again as, oh, another one of those thunderous chops.
Statlander controlling Vaughan. Vaughan is being caught out here. She's, whether it's for pressure of facing Statlander, whether it's for pressure of her second ever international title defense, she seems to be on the back foot right here, right now. But managing to take down Statlander. And now it's going to be Vaughan who is taking the apron to be in control.
And Statlander here on the steel steps, pushing Vaughan away. And she's kind of prone here as she's created space here inadvertently.
And a huge penalty kick takes down Statlander.
And again, you know, the fall there, not only the impact of that kick, but Statlander falling down those steel steps down onto the concrete floor. Insult to injury there after that huge penalty kick.
And we've seen... And we've seen the damage that Anita Vaughan can do. She decimated a Luna, who we haven't seen since. She decimated, had a very strong showing against Lucia Lee, who we haven't seen since.
And don't forget how she took the title away from Skye Smitson, who, you know, she's as tough as they come here in Pro Wrestling Eve. She absolutely dominated Skye.
Oh my God, just thrusting the back into that apron. And that is barely protected. Statlander now trying to get back into the ring. Vaughan lending her an assist. Of course, if she wants to win this match, if she wants to retain her championship, her belt, she will need to have to cleanly pin or submit.
Absolutely, she's gonna have to do it in the ring.
Statlander trying to get some strikes in, trying to show that there's life. Irish Rip from Vaughan catches Statlander, and that is no mean feat. Backbreaker.
And just ragdolling her into
straight into the suplex
here. Thunderous suplex.
There is no denying the talent.
The strength
of our international champion. Cover 2, and maybe, just maybe, taking that pinfall a little bit too lightly.
Taking too long, no hook of the leg, no elevated pressure onto the shoulders. But again, Anita Vaughan trying to get into the head of Kris Statlander here. Maybe not expecting to win the match with those maneuvers. I mean, who knows?
But that was such a smooth maneuver from the backbreaker to the suplex.
And effortless, the strength.
Like Kris Statlander is, to pick up Kris Statlander, that takes something. Anita,
again, this is like we said, you know, the height advantage that both women usually have, the strength advantage that both women usually have.
Anita Vaughan laying in those shoulder thrusts into Kris Statlander. Between driving her into that apron, that backbreaker and that suplex, the torso of Kris Statlander must be writhing in pain at this point. Cover again, hooks the leg. And
But again, you know, hooking the leg, but no pressure really there on the shoulders. As Statlander kicking out, you'd have to do a lot more there to put away someone the caliber of Kris Statlander.
But, and I'm sure you can tell us about this, Jetta, it's as a knee goes for the back, it takes effort to kick out.
It does take effort to kick out, absolutely it does. But the tighter the pin and the more pressure on the pin, the more it takes to kick out, you know?
Yes.
Anita Vaughan's not got to let herself get ahead of herself here. I don't know what she expected to happen stepping in the ring here tonight with Kris Statlander. Obviously, she had confidence in herself. I don't know if she realised she would dominate as well as she has, so far anyway.
Another
She's
cover.
into another cover. But she can't get complacent here. This is Kris Statlander.
And that was just a crossing strike to the face of that, just malice behind that. And now you can see she's just getting in the face of Kris now. But that, I think, if anything, is waking Kris Statlander up.
I feel like that's a mistake.
As she gets Statlander into that cravat. And just another penalty kick to the back as well.
And again, that kick across the back, the foot into the kidneys there of Kris Statlander.
And we can see Anita Vaughan going once again, just quite content of grinding Kris Statlander down, raining down that stamina, raining down that energy. Big elbows, though, from Statlander. Jawbreaker gives her some space. And Statlander now...
And it's all she needs.
When you give Kris Statlander space, you're going to need to back it up, and that was good. Anita Vaughan recognised that. But off the ropes, Statlander has got some life.
But again, like you say, she gave too much space to Statlander there, as now both women seem to be going strike for strike. As Anita with a European uppercut.
But she recognised. She recognised.
Outsmarted her.
German suplex.
Oh, and a huge German suplex. But Statlander to her feet with a German suplex of her own. And we have a fight here tonight as both women clothesline, both women down to the mat. And is this the time and the space that Statlander needs to regroup here, as Anita Vaughan is reeling and gasping for air on the mat?
You just listen to the Eve faithful here in the Big Penny Social. The biggest defense thus far for Anita Vaughan.
This is not just the biggest defense so far, this is the biggest match of Anita Vaughan's career, make no mistake about it.
And we'll see if there's many defenses more to come after this, but she has to get through Kris Statlander. And Kris Statlander, you don't just travel all the way from America to the UK for nothing. She wants to win the Eve International title.
Oh.
Vaughan elbowing Statlander, whip into the other corner.
Oh.
And you can see that sick smirk on Vaughan as well. The machinations of Anita Vaughan. As defeat from Kris Statlander.
Can she capitalise? Oh, and she's up!
European uppercut from Statlander into the other rope. Big rising knee.
Huge burst of adrenaline here from Kris Statlander as Anita's up and down, twisted Michinoku driver into a perfect cover, and it's just a 2 count. And that is all it takes. That is all Statlander needs to capitalise. And Anita Vaughan is in trouble here.
The surge of energy, the surge of adrenaline.
And the crowd here firmly behind Kris Statlander.
And for the first time in quite some time in this match, Statlander has an opportunity to lay in some damage on the Eve International Champion. Big elbow strikes, though, from Anita. Pump handle incoming.
Oh, and
Catches.
she's up, she's up.
Looking to slam. Statlander down, does it.
Into
One,
the cover.
2. And you look at the faces of both Statlander and Vaughan, red in the face, so much energy exerted in this hot building.
Absolutely, so much energy to get Kris Statlander up onto her shoulder after that flurry of offense that Anita Vaughan has just taken from Statlander. Let's make no mistake about it, carrying off maneuvers like that, you might not get the 3 count, but that also takes something out of the person that's giving the maneuver as it is to the person receiving it.
Managing to catch
and
Vaughan.
she's up in it, she's
Olympic slam on Anita Vaughan.
And what is she signaling for here? A Statlander now climbing the ropes, but
Anita doesn't quite know where
doesn't know where
Statlander
she
is. And that is the time that Kris Statlander needs. Oh my God, powerbomb from Vaughan. I don't know if she was playing possum, I don't know if that was a reaction, but a big fisherman driver. 1, 2, oh my God.
And you have to think that if Vaughan had both of those legs hooked, that could have been it. If it wasn't for the power of Statlander, able to use the momentum of having that free leg to power her shoulders off the mat, that could have been the 3. And that is the inexperience of Vaughan versus the experience of Statlander coming into play.
And you can just see just a kick from Vaughan there as well. Just not doing damage, just letting Kris Statlander know that she is still there. Statlander and Vaughan absolutely laying it into each other here at the Big Penny Social.
Anita Vaughan here with the control of the neck. And what is she going for here?
Trying again
to power Statlander up. But Statlander fighting out. Oh!
Managing to catch Vaughan. And that is the move that Anita Vaughan normally uses. She's won match. Oh, crucifix. 2. Oh my God.
It's just a 2.
Discus clothesline. 1, 2. No.
And that is as close can get to a 3 count. Huge discus lariat there from Statlander. And we talk about the inexperience of Vaughan previously, but inexperience be damned with the reversal on that pin there, almost catching Statlander by surprise.
And you just listen to the faithful, and I would say I agree.
Absolutely, and Statlander now just ragdolling Anita Vaughan into the corner here.
And I think it's important to know the time that's ticking as well. There is going to be a limit to this time, so we're not close to the end, but we are getting there.
But we're past the halfway point here now.
Statlander has got Anita Vaughan lined up. Oh, but caught with a full Nelson and just slams Statlander into the corner.
Back of the neck there, into that turnbuckle.
And just look at those forearms. I mean, those are just nasty. Those are just ferocious, laying it in to Statlander. And Statlander trying to get the arm up.
But exhaustion setting in here now. And we talk about the temperature, you know, it makes a massive difference.
Vaughan.
Is Vaughan here taking her time? And is she taking a bit too much time here? Statlander looks out on her feet, but
lining up for a clothesline, maybe. Off the ropes. Oh! Thrust kick from Statlander.
Oh! And Anita with one of her own.
And looking for the crossface. And look at that, just cinching under the chin. This is how she defeated Lucia Lee in her first defense.
And the torque on the back of the neck there, wrenching on the back of the neck of Statlander here. And they're pretty much in the center of the ring here.
Statlander, though, managing to maneuver, getting a pinfall attempt, but look.
Anita rolling through, but hang on a minute. How did Statlander manage to pick her up? And what does she have in mind here?
Vaughan
is fighting out.
Oh my God, crucifix driver, 2. somehow, some way, Anita Vaughan managing to get an offensive maneuver. Lariat from Anita Vaughan. One.
Just a 1 count. And here is that otherworldly strength from Kris Statlander coming into play, kicking out at 1 after all of the offense that has been thrown at her in this match, as we start to tick down to 10 minutes remaining in this title match.
Anita Vaughan said she wanted international talent. She said that she would demolish international talent. She is needing to put her money where her mouth is, but thus far hasn't been able to put Kris Statlander away. But Statlander catching Anita Vaughan, big kick, and now managing to get her up.
Oh, and she's up in a package pile driver. She hits
Center
it.
of the ring.
1. Oh my. And Anita kicking out at 1. Oh.
Statlander looking for Saturday Night Fever on a Friday night. Hits it. New champion.
She's done it.
She's done it. She's done it.
Your winner via pinfall and the new international champion,